I look a little dark today. Welcome. It is Sarah Jane with your daily dose of true nature medicine. And forgive my singing voice, but I can't get this song out of my head. I want to talk to you a little bit about Brave, the Bold Action Takers group that is starting this Saturday in Johannesburg. It's a very intimate group, and we're going to get shit done. I mean, we're literally going to sit, and you're going to bring your priorities of what you want to do that's going to increase your income generation, and we're going to sit and make sure that you leave with it in the bag, and that you're flying, and you're going to be with a bunch of women that are in the same position as you, that maybe have such busy lives that they're not getting to do the stuff that actually is going to make them the money. So for example, if you are perhaps wanting to do a series of YouTube training videos, or you don't know how to convert things like your Facebook lives and put them into your YouTube channel, if you don't know how to make memes, so basic tech stuff that might be tripping you up and holding you back because you think that you're never going to be able to do it and you don't have time to do it, you're going to get it done on Saturday. So if you're in Johannesburg, join Brave, okay? Join the Brave Action Takers group. It's going to be amazing. We are keeping the group small. There's 2 spots available. So if you want one of those spots, if you have been procrastinating, if you have been dithering and dabbling around and not getting the things that you know you need to get done to make you money and to take your business or your life to the next level, join Brave, okay? We are going to get it done, and this is going to become a monthly thing. Maybe we're going to do it bi-monthly, maybe we're going to do it every week. We're really just in the testing of this, and we're all in it together. So everyone that's coming has their own unique talents and capacities and skills, and we're going to collaborate, we're going to co-create, and we're going to lift each other up. You can't, it's like sitting on a couch and watching people doing a gym or a weight loss program, and you're sitting on the couch eating a packet of chips and wondering why you can't lose the weight. We're doing the work. We're going to do the work. We're going to get down and dirty. It's going to be uplifting. I'm so excited. We've got some amazing creators coming already. So if that interests you and you are in the Johannesburg area and you would like to join us, please let me know now. We're finalizing the details. It's going to run from 9:30 to 4:30. Fast fiber Wi-Fi that actually works really quickly. And as I said, anything that you're sticking yourself with that I can support you with, or one of the other women in the group can support you with, we're going to get it done. And I think this is going to be our theme song, so forgive my singing voice, but it kind of goes like this. And this is from my friend Heather Houston. She has an amazing archipelago group and in San Francisco, and I learned the song from her, and it kind of goes like this: don't give up, put a little kindness in your life, put a little flex in your plan, don't give up, put a little flex in your plan, find another way, flow like a river, find another way, like a river, don't give up, put a little kindness in your life, flow like a river, flow. Anyway, that's my version of it. I hope you enjoyed my bad singing voice, but I gave it my all. So it kind of brings me into this whole thing about being brave, being bold and brave, and taking courageous steps, and actually moving before you believe you're ready. Because if you wait until you're ready, you're never going to do anything. And that's really what this action group is all about. Because I've kind of noticed, and Mondays are kind of funny like that, because in fact every day you might find yourself doing this, that when you kind of wake up in the world, it doesn't meet you from a place of your heart. It wants you to get into your head. Your mind wants you to get straight back into the lack and the comparison and the wrongness of you and all the things that you have to do. And this is kind of how I used to wake up in the mornings, was this huge anxiety and panic attack, because the minute I had my eyes, my brain would take me out of my heart, and it would take me straight into the mind stuff, the mind tripping of all the things, and finding things that I can't control, and all the things that I had to try to do, and so many of my clients talk about this, that they're in a similar place where they just kind of feel like, when do they get to actually be still? Which is why rituality and things like meditation in the morning, writing in your journal is one of my really strong anchors. And when I don't do this, the world doesn't want me to get into my heart. It takes me straight into my mind. So maybe you do that with distraction. You know, where are you willing to start to look at changing up some of your comfort zones and your rituality of how do you wake up? Do you wake up with eyes wide open and go straight into the mind stuff? Or are you allowing yourself to be gentle on yourself, to really just stay in your heart, in that sort of white space of nothing, of just giving yourself time to envision as if your day has already happened? There's lots of ways to do this. Futuring is one of them, where you actually act as if your day has already happened or your month has already happened. And let's face it, we're going into the last month of the first half of this year. So if you do your 90 days action plan, like I ask and insist that my clients do. Hi, Anjana. Where are you on your next 30 days? Hi, Happy. Nice to see you here. So, you know, where are you getting heavy about what's going wrong in your life? Instead of looking at what's right about you. And one of the best ways to do that, I have found, and I don't need to go searching for evidence. Meditation's been around forever. Envisioning, futuring, going into the future is one of the best, fastest ways to keep yourself on track. And instead of looking at the news, instead of waking up first thing in the morning, I mean, do you get up and have a cup of coffee and go straight onto Facebook or check your emails? Or maybe you turn on the news. I mean, have you noticed how heavy that energy is? My pleasure. Nice to see you here. And if you have any questions, just hop on in here. So instead of looking at what's wrong, and I talked about this yesterday, which is what our mind wants to do to keep us safe. What if you could just stay in your heart, even if it's a minute longer than you did yesterday? Start looking at what's right about you, what's right about my life, what's right about the world, rather than the wrongness and this fear mentality that the world wants you to get hooked into, because it's $1 million industry of antidepressants and SSRIs and happy pills and distractions all the time. So, you know, look at how beautiful your world actually is right now. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the loves. Nice to see you here, Ricky. And, you know, be willing to start to look at that we're all sharing in co-creation and possibilities every single incremental microsecond of the day. Allow yourself to have these spontaneous moments of love for yourself, love for the world, and stop sharing heavy stuff. Have you noticed that when you're angry, and you know, we have a lot that we can get angry about. If I'm speaking from a place of how angry I am about the plight of the fact that the natural habitat of elephants and lions and wildlife in Africa. Hi, Tracy. Nice to see you here. We're just talking about getting angry, you know. When you come from a place of force and resistance and proving your rightness of your point of view, we push people away because it just feels so heavy. You know, this is the anti-poaching, the anti-drugs, the anti-everything, the anti-you, actually. So I'm inviting you today to look at what a miracle you are. Just by your very existence, you are a miracle. And look at giving yourself these spontaneous moments of love. The more angry you go into, the angrier you get, and the angrier the world starts to look, and the more resistance there is, and the more pain there is, because your outside environment is always going to match what you're feeling on the inside. Hi, Celeste. So start your day. Just for today, just because you're choosing it. And it's a good morning to my American people. It always feels a little weird to do this at this time of the day, but this is the time that I actually get to come in and be with my tribe, because my daughter's in the swimming pool, and it's my time. It's the time that I'm committed to showing up on these things. So good morning to you in America, and good afternoon if you're in the southern part of the world. And what if right now you start your day, just as we get to say hello to the sun every morning, and we get to say goodbye to it at night. Tap into the heart. Just tap into the heart and start your day right now. Yes, the time is now. To start from the heart, and just let your mind wait. The world will wait. Okay? When you're in your head, you're trying to get something, and then you have to make sure that what you're wanting in your mind, or what your ego wants, works. So just for today, and from every day going forward, can you just make a commitment to make yourself your number one priority? And take time in the morning. I've made a commitment this week that I'm going to extend my morning meditations in my futuring, in my envisioning process, in my quiet time, from 30 minutes to an hour. And my intention and my commitment is that by the end of this next month, I will be doing 2 hours of meditation in the morning, because I know my mind keeps saying you don't have time to do that. And it's very hard to stay in that. And I think a lot of meditations, we're only just starting to quieten the mind down in the first 20 or 30 minutes, and then we're done. So what if you can actually just start to give yourself that stretch? You're an alchemist. You have the ability and the capacity to bend and stretch and also condense time. You are a time traveler. I started going down a road. Too much rain. Don't give up. Let yourself flow like a river. Find another way. It's such a beautiful song. If you don't know Heather Houston, check her out. So just know, that there's always another way, and we're never going to, Einstein said that, you're never going to solve a problem from the same place that you created it. And remember, we are the creators of our own reality. So if you can create something, you can uncreate it too. Yes, alchemy. Yeah, we're magicians. We've just forgotten how to use it for us, and we've started to think that the only way that we prove that we're magic is to create problems. So what if you can let your mind take a break and start your day from the heart, and then ask the universe to show you something beautiful? Because if you're interested in real transformation that not just sustains you, and is no element is more important than developing a love of truth. And the love of truth starts for you, with you. The truth encompasses both our fearful reactions, and also the greater resources of our soul. That we are the universe, we are the multiverse, and it has to do with collaboration. Thank you for the love and the hearts. I love you guys. So, I know that we all have big dreams and long-term goals and outcomes that require regular, if not daily, actions to eventually realize and physically bring them into this reality. So, I slipped with writing my book again. And interesting how the universe always matches us, that if you have a gift and you're not using it, it will take it away. It'll go find somebody that will write that book or that poem or that piece of music or that program that you're creating. And about a month ago, my big brain, my eye brain, that has got, 2-3 years worth of just brain dumps and morning pages and all these wonderful creations that I've never got time to actually create, it got really, really sick. And I thought I had backed it up, and I took it in, and it got a new brain, and I got it back this week after 3 weeks of waiting for it. And I put the hard drive to download all the backup, and guess what? 90% of what I had created was gone, and I could have gone into a complete meltdown. And I was so surprised at myself when I didn't, because I was like, wow, there it is again. If it hasn't been created, it's gone somewhere else, and I've seen that, and I know by no means comparing myself to Elizabeth Gilbert or any of these other great writers, but it's amazing. I just bought Danielle Laporte's new book, White Hot Truth. If you haven't got it, I highly recommend anything of Danielle's, and it is all about white hot truth. And there was so much that resonated with me in that book that I had written, and it had gone, and I'm like, okay, there you go. And I think actually Elizabeth Gilbert in Big Magic talks about that so often we'll see a creation out in the world that was like, holy crap, I had that idea or I had that thought, but we didn't do anything with it, which is what Brave, the Bold Action Group, is about. We're going to be doing starting this Saturday, so that we actually get this work out into the world, because it's important, and dreams are nothing unless we're doing something with it. So can you relate? Love you back. Thank you, Ricky. Just finished listening to day 3. Awesome. How are you finding it? How are you finding it? Cried. Aw. Thank you. Yeah, and now tears of joy, Ricky. So I would love for you to share or give me some, give a shout out for that 7-day fast track belief challenge that I ran, because it's pretty powerful. I mean, it's the foundation of all the work that I've accumulated and learned, and am still learning from every single day that I get to show up and be me. So I know, it's so important, and there's never been a better time. In fact, I was looking at this the astrological sort of planetary alignment at the moment, and no surprise again, the bombings, the terror, the amount of collective fear that's in the air right now. Now more than ever, we need to have our rituality, we need to have our anchors, we need to be claiming our stake and be totally focused on creating this beautiful luminal space, this white space, for us to create calm inside ourselves, so that we can create that calm in the chaos outside. So what was I trying to say? You guys are so gorgeous. I love the comments. Belief challenge is so awesome. Thank you, Anjana. I know, everybody that actually committed to that 7 days, who actually showed up and did those scary, out of the comfort zone challenges in the last 2 challenges that were pretty crazy, weren't they? Especially lying in the middle of a pavement. You guys are seeing results in your life. So, now more than ever. Oh, I was talking about the planets. Mars is right up there, and those of you that know spiritual astrology is a big part of my work. There's some giggling people coming over here. Isn't that cute? The sound of laughter. Yeah, Mars is the divisive planet. It's the warring planet. It's the planet that stirs a lot of shit up, and it wants to fight and it wants to defend. And right now, as light workers, which you all are, this is the time when the illumination is really, really got to be lit up. We're here to light it up, and yet that old 3D template is trying to pull you back down into the dark, into the shadows. So now more than ever, I can't tell you, because you have to know for yourself, but for me, losing all that information, I was totally calm with it, which is not me as a perfectionist, A-type, organized creator. That could have been devastating, because I don't even know how much information that I've lost, and I just went, wow, isn't that interesting? Obviously it's done. It's either out there or it's no longer relevant to the times that we're in. So I get to have literally had my slate cleaned and have a new blank canvas to start in a new paradigm shift. Okay, so it's not about going back all the time, because so many people say, well, I keep going back and back over and over the same thing. I know what it feels like, how frustrating it can be to have projects that you never actually see complete. And again, that's very personal to me, because in my Kabbalistic tree of life, my main lesson that I need to learn in this lifetime is completion, which is so counterintuitive, the bipolar split Gemini mind but nothing ever completes. So there's this warring thing going on inside me, and there's the Mars energy again of the mind and the heart. How do I stay in my mind, in my heart, when my mind's tripping? And we can lose our excitement, can't we, really, really quickly? It just kind of loses its sizzle in the day-to-day randomness of it. And on bad days, we start to really wonder if it's ever going to go anywhere. It's like, oh my God, am I ever going to learn my lesson? So it's this constant flexibility and shifting that we need to water our wood. We need to tend to our gardens, so that instead of feeling or falling out of love with our lives, we actually start feeling in love with life. When we're irritable and impatient, or we're having a catastrophe. I pulled out John Kabat-Zinn's book again, I think it was called I can't remember the title now, but I picked it up because I love the title, about catastrophizing life. That trauma and drama and emergency that I was talking about yesterday. And worse than that, it is the giving up, the quitting, which is why that song of Heather's was in my head today, of don't give up. Put a little flex in your step, flow like a river. Don't stagnate. Don't dam yourself up. Don't back yourself up. And this is including the emotions, which is like, I've been crying tears of grief and so much repressed anger that was finally ready to come. And what it took me was being grounded back into my body, falling off a horse. So, who knows? Not everything we think is a trauma, drama, and emergency actually is, if we can see the gift in it. So don't forget that you have everything that you need in this moment. And sometimes it's, this is the importance of support, of community, which is why I'm starting the Brave, Bold Action Group. That's starting this Saturday, Kelly. If you're interested, I'd love for you to come, because you're a wizard at certain things. And this is what I really want to have in this group, is a collective group of women that are all rising up. They're not the crabs pulling each other back down into the heaviness. This is about, we both need to, if we're falling off a cliff and I'm holding on to you, trying to pull you up, you also need to pull, contribute your part. So this really is what the bold, the brave warrior, love women are going to be doing on these Saturdays, is we're going to get stuff done. And if we're feeling stuck, there's going to be one of us that's going to be able to support and assist you to get it done. And there's so much value. It's so powerful to be in the company of women that are all have the same vision and different ways that they want to get there. And remember too, a meaningful life doesn't need the realization of the dream. Because the irony is that once you reach the dream, and you've probably known this since you were little, and you wanted that bike so badly, and you saved up all your pocket money, and when you got it, it was kind of like a bit of an anticlimax. Because it's not in the having that excites us, it's in the envisioning of what it'll give us. We don't want the fast car. We want the feeling of speed and freedom that a horse or a car or a bicycle gives us. So everything you need comes down to really just a few simple pleasures, along with a sense of progress and something meaningful to work towards. And that's really what the Bold Brave Action Group is going to be about. And perhaps we'll end up live streaming it to all our soul sisters around the world, if that's something that you're asking for. So, just know that you don't have to do it alone. You are supported. And if you're sick and tired of procrastinating, of not completing, of knowing that there are certain things and steps that you need to take, or certain back end on in your business that you feel like you can't do, so we shut down, that's what brave and bold action is all about. It's about courage, right? Stepping into the heart with a like-minded bunch of love warriors who can see your heart and can meet you there and lift you up higher. That's what up-leveling your life is all about. So start there today in your heart. Just pick one thing. Okay, just pick one thing. We can't, it's like you can have your cake and eat it too, just not all at the same time. So again, this is about realistic expectations, and then acting as if it has already happened, which is why your morning pages and that meditation and creating quiet space in the mornings is so vital, I know, to my own sanity and to my own growth and expansion. So, open the floodgates to your skills and your abilities and your assets, and people. You're going to start seeing that people who want to co-create and go up with you are going to start showing up. So you can't, if you're busy being angry and frustrated that things aren't showing up the way that you're showing up, and you're searching for this one thing, Does it make sense that you can't notice, you can't pay attention to all the assets that are naturally wanting to come to you from an open heart? You know, did you take action from your creative space today? Or did you take action from making a problem to keep what you want away? Yeah, it's such a good question to ask. So just know, if you're staying angry and you're frustrated and you're going into the victimology of saying, I just want to quit and I just want to give up. And I know I have those days myself. But if you're staying negative and angry with yourself in your head, just make sure you get some support. Make sure that you find a collective, you find a group of soul sisters, you find your tribe, whether that's online or offline or both. There are assets everywhere. There are assets everywhere. So you get to choose. You can stay angry and negative and in your head, or you can come back to your heart and you can start to do things in a state of flow, just like that water in that song. And start asking yourself, how can I create this differently? How can this turn out better than I could ever imagine possible? And be invested in you rather than the result you think you want. Okay? People don't break our hearts. I say this all the time, and I can't remember who I borrowed that from, because it just resonates with me. People do not break your hearts. Okay? People that say, I'm so disappointed in you. If you have children, please don't say that. Don't say that to your loved ones. They break your expectations. You're the one that has the projections and the rejections and the expectations to keep you in your head and away from the heart that knows like it knows that you are an infinite creator of magic and alchemy and possibilities and beautiful things and healing things in the world. So instead of being invested in the result, just create one thing this week. And I'd love you to put your comments below. Just let us witness the one thing that you're going to do different, where you're going to stretch yourself out of your comfort zone and keep going. You know, start going. So many people, we start off fast and we start off all excited, like on challenges, but 1% of people finish anything. You know, that's just the fact. That's why 1% of the world hold the wealth, because they're the ones that are committed, come hell or high water, to complete and get what they want, and remove every single obstacle and put the sweat and the grind and the tears and the backache into it. Not the stop, start, where we're struggling, you know, that's where we're struggling continuously maybe with yourself, because you're stressing over things you can't control and you're worrying about it all the time. And you can't have success from that space. You can't control other people's expectations of you. If they're disappointed, that's okay. It has nothing to do with you. You can't please everybody. But what you can control is you and your choices and your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. And you haven't even begun to do that yet. You know, I realize that. If my computer's been wiped clean, I get to do that every day I go to sleep. So do you. You know, if we're supporting our body, we get to say goodbye and we get to keep what we want to keep and what's true for us, and we get to let go of all the things that don't. So look at how you're responding to things. Look at your actions that you're taking and use that to liberate rather than lock yourself up. You know, we don't need to keep starting over and over and over again. Get excited about things that trigger you. Get excited when people judge you. You know, anything can annihilate you at any moment. You know, that you can be sure of. Death, that we're going to die, that this physical body is going to get old and die, that you can be sure of. Okay, you have no control over that, but you have the choice to decide when you're going to check out. You get to choose whether you're going to annihilate yourself through self-sabotage and self-hatred. But I want you to just look at how can you create your own safety when fear says you can't. You get to listen to what your heart wants. So listen to your heart. And as much as people say, and I say it myself, life is so precious, it's too precious to waste another day. I want you to also flip that and know that with absolute appreciation and gratitude that you are precious to life. As much as life is a gift, you are a gift to life. You matter. Your contribution is changing things when you live from your heart. So what does your heart say? What does your heart say? And can you be that preciousness of loving the parts of you that you are not loving yet, or that you cannot forgive, or have decided that you cannot forgive yet? And just be in that moment, because only your ego is scared of dying. Okay? And if you're not enough, or you're being controlled, your ego is going to protect itself from you killing it. And it doesn't often happen all at once. It happens in little increments, okay? So that we don't go back into shock and trauma. So there is security in knowing that you get to choose how you create your life. That's the living legacy. There is security in knowing that you're going to die. But does it make you feel safe? Does it make you feel safe? So I'm going to leave you with that. Tell me if you enjoyed today's conversation. I'm always so grateful that you show up for conversations in consciousness. It could be cocktails or sundowners if it was a little later. But I so appreciate you showing up, being you. I hope today was of some contribution and value to you. And comment below. Share this with somebody that you know might need a little bit of Magic Monday miracles, or a big kick up of the arse. Okay? And let me know, where are you going to deepen into and strengthen your anchors and your boundaries and claim your stake this week as we go into this last month of the next 90 days. Okay? And if you don't have a plan for the month, get it going. All right? I love you guys. Have a beautiful rest of the day wherever you are. And let me know what you'd like to talk about this week. Okay? I've kind of committed that I'm going to do these little sound bites as often as I can. And obviously, I'd love to talk about things that are going to add to your life, not bore the shit out of you, that you check out. And share this with people. Let them know what we're doing here. And if you're in Johannesburg, join Brave, Bold Action Group. Okay? I love you too. Have a good day. Mwah. Love you guys.